Hi sturdy women, hi sturdy friends. I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're feeling good in your body. When we talk about massage for lipedema, we so often mean gentle things like manual lymph drainage massage. But today I want to talk about deep tissue massage and specifically structural integration, also known as Rolfing. I turned 40 last year, and one of my gifts to myself was 10 sessions of Rolfing. And let me tell you, it was life-changing. It changed how I walk, it deepened my breath, and it relieved all sorts of tension in my body that I didn't even know I had. Be sure to watch to the end to learn the surprising reason I needed an extra 11th session. As a reminder, please be sure to consult with your health team before starting Rolfing or any sort of deep tissue massage to make sure that it's appropriate for your situation. What is Rolfing? Well, traditional massage focuses on muscles. Chiropractors focus on things like bones and joints, and Rolfing focuses on fascia. Fascia is connective tissue, and of course, lipedema is a loose connective tissue disorder. So when I heard about Rolfing, I was immediately curious. I also suspected I had a lot of emotional yuck stuck up in my body, and I wondered if something like this could help release some of it and get it out. To learn more about how bodies potentially hold on to negative emotions and negative experiences, check out the books When the Body Says No and The Body Keeps the Score. I'll link both down below in the description. You might go into a traditional massage with pain in a specific area and ask the masseuse to work on it. In Rolfing, however, they approach the body as a holistic, interconnected system and work through a predetermined sequence of releasing fascia. I learned very quickly that the place you feel the pain is very rarely the place that's causing the pain. Imagine my surprise when a good yank on my elbow relieved tension in my hip. Are you enjoying this video? Click subscribe below to join our community. Then click the little bell and you'll get a notification each time I post new sturdy content. Rolfing focuses on retraining the body how to move. And let me tell you, after losing half my body weight, I had so much to relearn. It wasn't until I stood up from the 2-hour foot and leg session that I realized how much my large lipedema thighs had impacted my walking, even after weight loss. Everything got pushed outward, and that tweaked my knees, my hips, my ankles, and of course, everything else in my body. Let me tell you, after that 2-hour session focused on feet and legs, I jumped up and hugged her. I felt like I had springs on the bottom of my feet. My thighs felt incredibly close together, and for the next few days, every time I stood up, I just thought, wow, because everything just felt so easy. Last fall, I traveled to Asia between sessions 7 and 8 out of the total 10. Much to my surprise, despite spending more than 60 hours on airplanes over 3 weeks, I only had one day where my body felt even a little creaky. This is in complete contrast to other trips I've taken where my neck hurts, my shoulders hurt, that little knot in my shoulder blade starts burning. You know what happens when you sit on an airplane, right? This time, nothing. Interestingly, while I was in Thailand, everyone was telling me I had to go get a foot massage. So one night I went and I had a 90-minute foot massage, and I have to be honest with you, it was nothing compared to what I experienced in the Rolfing. Sure, it was relaxing, but it was immediately forgettable the moment I walked out. There was no lasting change on my body. Rolfing has a reputation for being aggressive and painful, and this made me nervous because of the extra sensitivity in my lipedema legs and arms. Surprisingly, I found it quite relaxing. During several sessions, I fell asleep, and almost every time I walked out in like a zombie haze because I was just so chilled out. Don't get me wrong, it can be intense. And she would say things to me like, remain calm, it's going to feel like I'm pulling your jaw off your face. Yeah, that sounds scary, I know. But honestly, it was never more intense or painful than something like foam rolling, and I never bruised. Rolfing is not at all like fascia blasting, and I do not recommend fascia blasting for lipedema. I asked my Rolfer how she would explain the difference, and she said Rolfing approaches the body holistically and aims to unstick tissues by lengthening them from top to bottom. Fascia blasting, on the other hand, aggressively targets one specific area without addressing the larger structural problems that are underlying it. Rolfing is traditionally done in 10 sessions, and during my final 10th session, seemingly out of nowhere, I got a pain in my hip. This had never happened before, and I asked her to look at it. She started working on it, but someone else, her next appointment, came knocking on the door. She told me to call her if I couldn't walk it off in a few days. Well, stretching, heating pads, ibuprofen, nothing helped. And honestly, I felt worse than I had in years. She spent another 3 hours tugging on me from top to bottom, and it felt great, but something was still holding on. This pain is familiar, I told her. I remember having it a lot in my 20s, and just like now, nothing helped. Light bulb moment. While I was feeling that pain physically, it wasn't coming from tight fascia that she could do anything about. It was an unaddressed emotional issue manifesting physically to try to get my attention. By coincidence, just a few days before that last Rolfing session, I had done some really intense emotional work with my therapist on some unprocessed grief. We woke up the beast. But amazingly, once I started addressing that pain as an emotional wound rather than a physical one, it went away almost immediately. I had other strong emotional reactions during some of the sessions. Every time she worked on my ribs, I was incredibly grouchy the next day. And as more tension was released from my body, I didn't want to stuff any negative stuff in ever again. It became a lot easier to say no and to express emotions, even negative emotions, because I now understood what it physically felt like to hold all of that inside. Have you tried Rolfing or another form of deeper tissue massage? What impact did it have on your lipedema? Tell us below in the comments. I'm sure your experience will help someone else on their journey. For more about me and my journey with lipedema, lymphedema, and venous insufficiency, head over to sturdywoman.com. I'd love to see you there. Mwah!